What is up, nerds and noobs? It's Maceblade here. I'm just doing a quick character creation buffs and debuffs guide, and I have to apologize ahead of time. The wife is playing a very intense game of Call of Duty in the background, so if my mic is picking her up, I apologize. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get into it. When you first create your character, down in the features section, you can create random, or you can select the random button, which allows you to give your character 3 buffs and 3 debuffs. Now these are completely random. There's no way to select them, so you can just sit there and keep slamming the button until eventually you are getting the skills you want. So we're going to go over the buffs for right now. And so the character creation buffs, you can get Weapon Master, which gives you plus 50% XP when in battle. So, like, for your sharps, which is probably going to get changed to knives or slashing soon. And, basically any melee combat is you're going to get 50% increased battle experience. Now there's Athletics, which is the sprint stamina consumption was reduced by 21%, meaning you can run 21% longer. Or your stamina will last 21% longer. Then you have Excellent Endurance, which gives you plus 20 endurance. There's Carry Forward, which adds 20 to your overall weight, which could technically increase your capacity up to 85. So that's pretty, one that people go after, especially considering this is a loot-heavy game, and everybody likes to carry as much as they can carry. There's Agile like a Rabbit, which is also another one. It adds 20 speed, and then you pair that with plus 25 speed shoes. You're going to outrun a lot of shit real quick. Master of Eloquence. So it gives you minus 11% to vendor prices and transactions. Meaning, so if you're going to be involved with vendors a lot to either raise skills or just trade in general, then that's a pretty good one because it reduces your overall cost, which means the stuff you have to carry or trade in, or the better trade-ins you get for everything. If you are going to be, a little vendor heavy when it comes to skill raising, every time you give them something, you're going to get more and more faction or, representation with them. So it'll actually cost you less to raise your faction and less to train. So, that's a pretty decent one too. There's Infinite Power, which gives you plus 6 strength. I'm honestly not quite sure of the significance of plus 6 strength. If it was me, that's one I would pass up just because I don't feel it's, I'm going to be a gun guy. So, to me, strength doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of an issue for me. There's Iron Stomach. So if you have a hard time keeping your food fresh, a negative 21% chance to catch malaria is probably up your alley. Less chance to get sick, the less chance less time you got to worry about trying to cure malaria. Love Learning, plus 20% skill experience. So that means every time you use a skill, you're getting 20% more experience than a normal person. And that's pretty big, seeing how this is a very skill experience involved game. There's Careful, negative 31% search time. So if you're a looter, negative 31% search time is quite substantial, to your looting. And then there's Thick Skin. If you're going to be in the midst of everything, if you're going to be fighting all the time, that's all you want to do is get in there and kick some zombie ass. Plus 10 defense could help you a lot. As could Life is Strong, which is plus 20 health. So those are all the character creation buffs. Now let's pair them with the character creation debuffs. Now every time you pick 3 buffs, you have to take 3 debuffs. So let's go through them now. Number 1 is Don't Like Running. It's plus 20% stamina consumption, meaning you're going to get winded often. So, if you're going to be the guy that's the getaway driver and you're going to be in the car, maybe that's the one for you. Maybe you don't care for running because you just don't like running. Next is Less Power, minus 3 strength. That's a debuff I'd probably take just because I don't see the significance in it. It's only 3 strength, So, who knows? Maybe that's pretty significant and I just don't realize it. I'm not sure. Poor Stamina, minus 20 to Endurance. And if you're a runner and you spend a lot of time running, which, let's face it, we all do in the very beginning, we haul ass right to the vendor that sells the car repair kits. And, then after that, running is minute. Tender meat, -5 to defense. I mean, that's not really that significant. -5 to defense, I'd probably take that, Overwhelmed, carry limit -10. That sucks, especially if you're not going with the max. You're going to be left down with, 55 carry weight. Life is fragile, health -20. It's pretty self-explanatory. I don't need to really get into that one. Starts your base health at 80, but then raises up as your, as your, your skill in health goes up. I can't remember the name of it. Begins with a C, though. Less flexible, -10 speed. That sucks. But when you're given 25 speed shoes, I mean, you're still at a +15. Learning difficulties, -21% skill experience. That's kind of shitty unless you are the guy that doesn't give a shit about skills, or you have an infinite amount of books and mentality, and that's all you want to do is just click the books. That one might be one that you could take. Careless, +30% search time. That sucks. It takes long enough on some boxes. I couldn't imagine taking an additional 30% longer. Not good at fighting, -50% battle XP. I mean, that sucks, but at the same time, is it really worth it? I don't know. You decide. Not good at training, +10% vendor prices. They're going to rip you off. Stomach problems, +20% malaria chance. Well, let's hope that you're the cook and you cook everything nice and fresh, and that way there you don't have to worry about catching malaria. So on the map that I have included in this, I just labeled some things that are pretty important, and some things that you might need to see, or just questions you've had in general, for the most part. And I highly recommend when you're creating your character, or you're creating your first base, make it kind of centralized, somewhere in the middle where it takes about an equal amount of time to get to every single place, or at least most important places, because the last thing you want to do is build on Newbie Island, over there where the livestock vendor is, and and then you have to run all the way over the place just to loot anything, because there's a lot of good loot areas. And a lot of the mistakes that new players make is they try to go crazy, with their base on Newbie Island, and don't ever really leave it. I made my base right underneath the guns and shit dealer, and halfway between the hospital and that hotel off to the left, just because that's a pretty good area. I got the hospital right there if I need something. If I, for whatever reason, run out of ammo, I got the guns dealer right above me. I got the solar panels, inverter, oil, and plastic right, just north of him. And the hotel is just nice, because there's a gas station right there on the corner. So if I ever need fuel, I just literally walk up to the gas station, grab some fuel from the fuel pumps, and go back to the car, and there you go, I'm good. And then I drive wherever. Well, I hope you found this useful. If you need to, access the map or whatever, it is available on the official No One Survived Discord. By all means, please join. And all right, that's all I have for you. Peace out, nerds. Get wrecked.